For now, we're going to be looking at problems, word problems. And so one of the things you need to get down before we actually let you go and solve some word problems is you need to understand what the angle of elevation and the angle of depression are. And so there is a diagram based on the angle of elevation and angle of depression. This is from your book. What you need to think of is when you think of elevation, what is the root word of elevation?
Elevator.
Elevate, elevator,
Oh.
right? And what the elevator does, when you think about to elevate, what that means is that means to rise. So if you were on the horizon and you think about elevate, that means to rise. And so if you notice here, the angle of elevation is an angle that goes up. Okay, so your eyes, you're looking up. That's what it means to elevate. Depression, on the other hand, when you think about to depress, what that means is to do is that means to go down. So you've got your line of sight from your eyes and you're looking down. And so those are the two definitions. If you look up, you measure the angle of elevation. If you look down, you measure the angle of depression. And so we're going to go ahead and look at a few examples here, and then we're going to let you go on your homework. So let's look at the first one here. It says the angle of elevation from a sailboat to the top of a 121-foot lighthouse on the shore measures 16 degrees. So you've got a ship here, right? It's looking at the lighthouse. Here's your angle of elevation because the ship is looking up. That's 16 degrees. They want to know how far is the sailboat from the lighthouse. Here we go. This is what we're trying to find, D. So what we're going to do now is we're going to label our angles just as we've done, or label our sides just as we've done before. Here is our reference angle. So what side is 121 in reference to 16? Opposite. What side is D? Adjacent. So now I need to think, what trig function ties in opposite and adjacent? Tangent. So I know that the tangent of 16 degrees equals 121 over D. Now, I need to go ahead and find what the tangent of 16 is. What is the tangent of 16? And I want to 4 decimals. 0.2867. Now, if you remember, we have 2 ways to solve this. 1, I can just multiply both sides by D, or 2, I can make a proportion. I think this is the class that liked to just multiply by D. So you have 0.2867D equals 121. Now, how do I solve that for D? Divide by what? 0.2867. So what do you get D to equal? 422.04. And label will be what? Feet. And there you go. There's your answer. Pretty straightforward. Let's look at the next one. Yeah, it is. It's pretty much what you did before. It's now just, oops, it's just words. Oh, we're skipping. There we go. Benny is flying a kite directly over his friend, Frank. So here we have Benny, right? Here we have Frank. Here we have the kite. Okay, so there's your kite, who is 125 meters away. So I know that this distance here is 125 meters. When he holds the kite string down to the ground, the string makes a 39-degree angle with the level ground. So here's the kite string, right here. And so I know that this will be 39 degrees. I know if I draw this down to Frank, I've made a right angle. How high is Benny's kite? All right, so that's what I need to find. So am I going to be finding this distance here or this distance here? Which one?
The top.
This
I
one.
didn't get that.
Because that refers to how high it is. This distance over here, the hypotenuse, would actually be how much string Benny had out, okay, or how far Benny was from the kite. So now I've got to find H, so let's label sides. Here's my angle. What side is 125? Adjacent. Okay, what side is H? Opposite. So what ties in opposite and adjacent? Tangent. So tan of 39 equals H over 125. So what did you just say, McKenna?
0.8097.
So now how do you solve that for h? What do you do? Times it by 125.
101.23.
So I get 101.23. My label will be meters. So that's what you're going to have to be doing. You're going to have to be drawing examples as well. And that's pretty much it for this lesson. So what you need to do for me, oops, sorry, good grief, it's skipping a bit. Page 548, 549, 1 through 15. Okay, straightforward. You have the rest of the time to work, and I suggest you get started.